Alright, let's dive into whether a 5-year-old cat can actually get parvo, also known as feline panleukopenia, which is caused by the feline parvovirus. It's a really common question, especially for people who think this disease only affects kittens. But here's the thing. Yes, absolutely, a 5-year-old cat can get feline panleukopenia, but there are some important details to unpack. So first off, feline panleukopenia is incredibly contagious. The virus is spread through direct contact with an infected cat or their bodily fluids like saliva, urine, feces, vomit, and through contaminated objects like litter boxes, food dishes, bedding, or even your shoes and clothes. The virus is super hardy too. It can survive in the environment for months, maybe even a year. That's why it's so important to disinfect thoroughly after an outbreak. Now, you're probably thinking, but isn't parvo mainly a kitten disease? And yeah, you're right, kittens are definitely the most vulnerable. That's because their immune systems are still developing, and if they haven't been vaccinated yet, they're at really high risk of severe illness and even death from the virus. In shelters or breeding facilities, panleukopenia can spread like wildfire and wipe out entire litters. But adult cats, including a 5-year-old, can still get it, especially if they've never been vaccinated or if their immunity has worn off over time. For example, let's say your cat has never been vaccinated, or maybe their vaccinations lapsed because they're indoor only and you figured they were safe. In that case, they could absolutely get infected if exposed to the virus. Even cats who've been vaccinated might still get infected if their immune system is compromised due to stress, illness, or other factors, though it's much less likely and usually much milder. If an adult cat does get infected, the symptoms can be a bit less dramatic than in kittens, but they can still be really serious. You might see fever, vomiting, diarrhea, dehydration, and just an overall "I feel awful" look. The virus still attacks fast-dividing cells, so the cat's immune system can get hit hard. In some cases, adult cats can become carriers without showing obvious symptoms, but they can still spread the virus to other, more vulnerable cats. So in summary, yes, a 5-year-old cat can get parvo if they're unvaccinated or have a weakened immune system. The good news is that vaccination is super effective at preventing the disease, which is why it's recommended for all cats, kittens and adults alike. So if you've got a 5-year-old cat, definitely check their vaccination status, and if it's not up to date, talk to your vet about getting a booster. Prevention is way easier and less heartbreaking than treating this nasty virus once it takes hold.